Now to head over to Toronto, where preparations for next week's World MasterCard Fashion Week are well underway.
I'm delighted to say we're joined by Christopher Bates, one of the leading menswear designers in Canada. He'll be showing at Toronto Fashion Week. So, Christopher, thank you very much indeed for taking time out from your final preparations. First question, are you ready?
I will be. There's still 1 week to go, so it's going to be down to the wire, but I do feel organized.
I have an image of you sitting in our Toronto bureau with pins in your mouth.
Yeah, that's a pretty common scene leading up to it.
Christopher, what's it like for you as a designer showing at Toronto, watching all of the other fashion weeks around the world go by? Is it too late for you to make last-minute tweaks and adjustments? Are you committed?
I'm definitely committed at this point. My selling season actually starts June 1st, so I had my collection complete then. Now it's just a matter of, I've added a few extra pieces, and then I've also shot a short film, which I'm going to debut before my runway show.
Tell us a little bit more about the subject matter, without obviously giving too much away, but what will be the theme of your collection?
The theme is Riviera, so I was inspired by the elegant nautical lifestyle of say, Monaco.
We love a good stripe here at Monocle.
And how does it sort of fit in? Given the fact that Toronto is the second biggest show in North America after New York, how does Toronto and Canada make their mark as a fashion destination when it needs to cry a little bit more loudly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Toronto's basically one of the emerging fashion capitals in the vein of, say, Berlin or Stockholm. There's certainly a lot of talent here. Maybe it doesn't get the global recognition, but, in Canada, there's a lot of exciting things happening in the design industry and with Toronto Fashion Week.
Do you mind that it's not getting the recognition that you think it's deserved, or do you think that might allow Toronto Fashion Week to carve itself a very personal, almost cosy niche out?
Yeah, I think it certainly has that feeling. You kind of get to know everyone over the seasons. But, over time, I feel like the event has grown and will continue to grow to the point where it will start to garner some more international attention.
Christopher, is there a distinct Canadian or Toronto aesthetic? What does brand Canada mean in the fashion world? How can you sum it up for us?
It's tricky. I mean, when you think of, the Canadiana, that can tend to be a little bit kitsch. I mean, if you think about Mounties or kind of outdoorsy clothing, Toronto itself is a very metropolitan, hyper-urban city. So what you have here is a very sophisticated, modern, urban design aesthetic, which I think we do really well here.
Tell us a little bit more about the urban design aesthetic. How does that translate into your clothes? You've just said that we go to the Riviera with your style. I'm now scratching my head.
Well, it's the Riviera is really a theme. The clothes that I'm designing for next spring are appropriate, for wearing out. But some of the colors and the pieces, like, doing a navy sports jacket and pairing it with, a white trouser and, say, a lavender dress shirt, you'd be perfectly in place stepping onto a yacht in Monaco, but you'd also be looking sharp stepping out to the poolside party as well.
And Christopher, who should we be particularly looking out for, in your opinion, in the Fashion Week next week, starting Tuesday, isn't it? Or Monday, in fact, of course. Who are you really looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking forward to seeing Caitlin Power and David Dixon shows. I'm not sure if Evan Bedell is showing as well. I have to check the calendar, but he always has a few surprises in store. So those are three of my top shows.
Because of the spectacle that the show promises, or the clothes, or both?
It's a combination. I mean, I also, I'm getting to know those designers a little bit better as well. So, they're kind of like, colleagues in a sense. So I like to see what they're up to.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Christopher. That was Toronto-based designer Christopher Bates.